Good morning, everyone. Today, let us start with the third session of Introduction to Champu Ramayana. Champu Ramayana, as I told, is a text prescribed for all the third semester students of BU Bangalore University and Bangalore North University. So, we already completed two sessions. In the first session, we understood about where Champu literature stands in the history of Sanskrit literature. In the second session, we try to understand how the Champu literature developed. What are the salient features of Champu Kavyas? So, how it is formed and who are the important poets. In this session, we'll be trying to understand about the important Champu Kavyas and their themes, because in Sanskrit literature there are enormous amount of literature like poetry written in Champu style, and the purpose of prescribing Champu literature or any piece of poetry for students of Sanskrit at the tertiary level is to get the knowledge of the rich heritage of Champu literature and the numerous themes written from ancient times. So, the themes that are taken for the formation of Champu literature. So, in this particular session, we'll be trying to understand what are the important Champu Kavyas and what are the themes based on which the Champu literature is written. So, the purpose of this session, of course, will be to understand the Champu literature, which is based on different epics and Bhagavata and Puranas, and also this Champu Kavyas are based sometimes, Champu Kavyas are also based on different other themes. So, let us try to understand what are the different themes for Champu Kavyas. Champu Kavyas based on Ramayana. As you know, Ramayana is a very big source of, learning or themes for the later classical Sanskrit literature. Both Ramayana and Mahabharata are very important sources for poetic formations in the later stage, that is, in the classical Sanskrit period. So, there are many Champu Kavyas written in Sanskrit based on Ramayana, the stories of Ramayana. So, the first one among them is Champu Ramayana of Bhojaraja, which is the prescribed text for you. So, along with that, there are also many other Champu Kavyas like Abhinava Champu Ramayana by Samba Shastri, Abhinava Ramayana by Lakshmana Dasa, Amogha Raghava by Divakara, Anjaneya Vijaya by Narasimha Kavi, and Uttara Champu Ramayana by Raghavacharya. There are also many other Champu Kavyas based on Ramayana. So now coming to the Champu Kavyas based on Mahabharata, we can see Champu Bharata of Ananta Bhatta, which is very, very famous in Sanskrit literature, and Abhinava Bharata Champu by Srikanta Chandrasekhara, and then Karana Champu by Kanka Bhatta, Kirata Champu by Narayana Bhatta, Kaunteya Ashtaka by Narayana Bhatta, and uh, Kuvalayashvasa Nilaya, Kuvalayashva Vilasa Champu by Trivikrama. So there are also many more Champu Kavyas based on Mahabharata. These are the important ones. There are Champu Kavyas written based on Bhagavata also, and important among them are also listed here, like Aniruddha Champu by Devaraja, Ananda Kanda by Ananda Kanda by Mitra Mishra, and many others. So this is only a glimpse of the themes based on which Champu literature is written. Champu Kavyas based on Puranas. Chintamani Vijaya by Shesha Kavi, Purushottama Champu by Narsimhacharya, Nrisimha Champu by Daivagnya Surya. So these are different Champu Kavyas written based on the Puranas. The stories from Puranas were again a rich source of themes for Champu literature as well as many other kavyas. There are Champu kavyas based on Jaina texts as well. Something like Jivandra Champu by Harichandra and Purudeva Champu by Jinadasa Shastri, Yashastilaka Champu, it's a very famous Champu Kavya by Somadeva Suri, and Samaraditya Katha by another anonymous poet. There are Champu Kavyas based on places that the best among them is Vishwagunadarsha Champu by Venkatadvari. He writes that Champu Kavya giving an aerial view of India. Okay, he looks at the Indian continent from the Vyoma, and then he calls it as Vishwagunadarsha Champu. So you get a geographical description of different places, and there are Champu Kavyas which are based on history as well. Something like Sri Krishna Rajabhyudaya by Geetacharya. Then there is Varadambika Parinaya by Tirumalamba. Like this, there are many Champu Kavyas based on history also. And then there are Champu Kavyas based on celebrations, different festivities and other things. Okay, the most important among them is Virupaksha Vasantotsava Champu, which we had prescribed for one of the degree classes, and this was written by Ahobala. Okay, there are also many other Champu Kavyas based on festivities and other celebrations. There are Champu Kavyas based on biographies like Vedantacharya Vijaya by Vedantacharya and others. Okay, and also these are different themes based on which the Champu literature is created. And as we said in the last class, Champu is a mixture of Gadya and Padya, and this type of poetry is very pleasing to the connoisseurs. They prefer to read it because it's not monotonous. There are shlokas and there are also prose passages in between. So this is a really good break, okay, for reading enjoying different aspects of poetry, because as you know, in the shlokas there is a very crisp description of the content, and when you come to Gadya there is an elaborate description of situations and then events and then celebrations. So there is space for a lot of alankaras and figures of speech, and then images, and then samasa. All these things are possible in prose literature. So we have the best of two things, that is prose and poetry in Champu literature. So this is all about the different types of Champu Kavyas. So after this, there are 5 important questions that are made here for you to answer. So please make it possible to answer these questions, and then you have to upload them. And let us try to understand more about the Champu literature in the next class. For now, thank you very much for listening, and please go through the PPT once again, and if there are any doubts, please get back to me in the next session. Thank you.